Hi, this is Dean Cardinale with Worldwide Trekking, and I am here in Kathmandu, Nepal. Just finished my second trip up the Khumbu Valley to Everest Base Camp. We did a full trek to Mount Everest Base Camp, and on the second trip, we actually hosted a wedding for a couple that have been on a number of our worldwide trekking trips. So I'm getting ready to do my third trip up the valley. I've got a group coming in tomorrow, 14 people to trek up to Mount Everest Base Camp and on to Kalapatar. And I wanted to touch base. We're getting ready to do a series on the Everest Base Camp trek, kind of everything starting with arriving in Nepal, the visa and the customs process, then the day-to-day of what we do when we fly in to start our trip. At Worldwide Trekking, we use helicopters to assist us into the valley. We don't use the fixed wing flights. They've changed the airport that you fly from. So if you arrive in Kathmandu, the airport to fly from into Lukla from Kathmandu is a 5-hour drive to get to that airport for the flight into Lukla on the fixed wing. So what we do is we fly in helicopters to Phakding, Nepal, and then we go from Phakding to Manjo the first day and do our trip from there. At the end of our trip, after we've been up to Kalapatar, been into base camp, we come back down to the high village of Pheriche. The following day, we make our way down to Pheriche, and from Pheriche, we get picked up at 14,200 feet and fly down to Lukla and connect on back to Kathmandu. So the helicopters help save a few days on the trek out at the end of the trip, and they also help save that horrible bus ride to the airport that's the alternate from Kathmandu to fly in if you were to use the fixed wing. The best time of year to come is in the spring and the fall. We usually run trips at Worldwide Trekking to Everest Base Camp in May and again in October into November, and that's when I'm here right now. And the reason we do that is because in the spring and the fall season over here, it's the pre and post monsoon season. So it's better weather for us, more likely to be able to fly in, more likely to have great views of the high mountains when we get in on the trek, and not cloudy conditions obscuring our views and having hard weather while we're in there. So we want to be able to see Everest and the surrounding mountains when we get in there, and the pre and the post monsoon season is going to be best for us to do that. So I hope you enjoy the next series of videos. It's a day-to-day, more or less, as I've made my way up the valley with our group this season, and shows you the ins and outs of the lower or the solo Khumbu Valley up through the lush V-shaped river valleys to Namche Bazaar, and then as we get above Namche into the higher terrain where there's less vegetation, the large U-shaped valley into Pheriche and up onto the Khumbu Glacier, right up into base camp. So really a spectacular journey. It's beautiful. The mountains are incredible, and the villages that we pass through are really interesting to see. So we do a lot of special customs at Worldwide Trekking. We really pride ourselves in using the relationships that we've built over years and years here. We have a fantastic local team of Sherpas that assist us from the time we arrive in Kathmandu all the way up to the Everest Base Camp and back. And those relationships are something that we pride ourselves in. And we love to work with our local Nepalese contacts and friends, and show guests that come from all over the world here in Nepal to enjoy the culture and the beauty of this country. So I hope you enjoy this series, and if you have any questions, always feel free to contact us directly at Worldwide Trekking and shoot us an email, give us a phone call. We can arrange a Zoom call, and we'll connect and answer any questions that you have. We'd love to have you join us here in Nepal on a trek to Mount Everest Base Camp. Thanks again and enjoy the series.